We are continuing to talk about prescription pill deaths. Joining me, two moms, Jody Barber and Sylvia Melkonian. They lost their sons to overdose on pills. Oh my gosh, I almost don't know where to start with this stuff because I mean, seeing you ladies and knowing what you went through and having struggled with my patients and lost patients, just like you guys lost sons, it gets a bit overwhelming. What medication, Jody, particularly got your son?
Jared had 5 pills from the doctor that I was taking him to get help.
For addiction?
Yeah, because I found him not enough. And in 3 months.
Wait, Jody, hang on a second. You were taking him to a doctor to be treated for addiction?
Yes.
And he gave him the pills that he eventually died of. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do. I didn't know that part of the story. I have grave concerns about my peers and my profession and what we give patients, and particularly when we claim we're treating addiction. But for people at home, you don't have to go through this. The one message is if somebody is an addict, do not put pills in their mouth. They can take them for 5 to 7, maybe 10 days after withdrawal, for withdrawal. But if there's anything else going in their mouth after that, it has to be done extremely cautiously, with very skilled hands. And he just took the pills all at once or something. And
I was monitoring him for 3 months, and I was giving him what I believed what the doctor, said was going to help him. And he put him on Cymbalta as well as Klonopin. And then Jared's anxiety became worse towards the end, and now he says he can take 2 Klonopin. So now I'm giving him 1 in the morning he asked for, and he asked for 1 in the evening. So he also, 3 days before Jared passed away, was given, the only visit I did not walk into with him, he gave him handfuls of samples of Seroquel. And he was told to take 3 to 4 at bedtime.
That's all typically okay. There's something more going on.
Jared wasn't psychotic, and
No, but Seroquel is good for withdrawal. It is. We use it all the time. Something's wrong with that story. There's something. The Klonopin is the culprit, I think. And you're going to say?
I'm curious. One of the problems too we're seeing is that the autopsies that are done on these people who are dying aren't necessary. It's not conclusive as to what is in their system.
I completely agree with that. I've actually had arguments with pathologists where I knew what was going on. Literally with a guy with tracks on his arm, and the pathologist going, he was just a recreational heroin addict, just using that particular day. I mean, he took a little too much. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I mean, that's people, the pathologists have to understand what addiction is too.
I talked to the head of ONDCP and others about this, the head of CDC, because we need to know, and I think here's a mother clearly who wants answers as to what went wrong in this case.
Yes, I would like to know, because something's wrong with that whole story. Something's not, it's not all adding up for me.
Yeah, because my son wasn't the same the last 2 weeks of his life from these pills. He was crazy. He jumped out of the car when it was moving, and so
something's up.
Yeah.
And Sylvia, what did you experience?
Well, my son, he was 17 years old, and he had Opana and Valium, and
which is a very powerful opiate and a Valium.
I had never even heard of Opana. I was completely shocked. I'm thinking, where in the heck did he ever get Opana from? And it's taken, a long time. He died about 1.5 years ago, so it's taken about 1.5 years for me to kind of investigate where did he get it from.
These are such beautiful kids. Yeah. I mean, these are the best and the brightest being taken out.
And he was captain of the football team. He was very excited to go to college. He was, he loved his friends in the future. I mean, I don't know how Opana ever got in his hands. Well, I know that his friends, were going to Dr. Singh, and a lot of people that he knew were going to Dr. Singh, and somebody must have given it to him.
But a kid that age taking Opana is ridiculous. It's unless he was recovering from a massive surgery or something for a couple of days. It's crazy. Let's go to a call. I believe I have Lisa on the phone. Is Lisa still available for us? Hi, Lisa. What's going on?
Hi, Dr. Drew.
Hey.
Just like your guests that you have on tonight, my 18-year-old daughter and our entire family are one of the many victims of the prescription pill epidemic. And Brandy passed away a year ago on March 8th as your guest from an Opana pill. And as they crush it and snort it. And from start to finish, 18 months, from the first time she tried prescription drugs illegally to the day that she passed away a year ago. And the majority of that time spent working in staying clean and sober. I mean, the majority of that 18 months, it happened so fast.
Yeah, yeah.
It's shocking.
It's shocking.
Shocking.
Yeah.
So,
You know, by the way, these ladies here would agree with you. The speed and the fate and the lethality.
The same night. The same night. He fell
lethality.
asleep.
Yeah.
And in fact, he was at home and with his brother and my ex-husband, and they didn't notice anything wrong with him. They couldn't tell anything was wrong with him. And he ended up just going to bed and not waking up in the morning.
I'll remind you, Whitney Houston goes in the bath and stops breathing. I mean, that's how this happens.
There was no signs. We couldn't tell anything.
Well, you said now you had you wanted people to really be hyper vigilant about looking for drugs, and you were actually one of those moms, right?
Yeah, you know what? my son, my 17-year-old son never had a problem with drugs. My older son has had a problem with it. And so I was always very nervous about my older son, but not my younger one. In fact, my younger one would say, I'll never do that, Mom. I've seen what you've gone through with, you know, our brother. I would never, ever